Oh, hi. Thanks, you guys, for coming to your online Pilates class. Today we are not doing anything super fancy or crazy. This is a good workout for you because there's nothing that's going to affect the shoulders or arms or upper body. So if anybody also in the future is doing this and has arm issues as far as strain, shoulder, rotator, back, this will be a good one. It won't be too much strain or pressure for upper body stuff. Now that being said, as always, take your breaks whenever you need to, and we're going to begin standing. So just open up your feet, open up your hips, doing a nice shake out of the arms, a nice shake out of the shoulders, gently if your shoulders are feeling a little bit and then we're just going to go from here to drop straight down to the ground. So you're going to lower vertebra by vertebra all the way down to the floor. Once you're there, we're going to slowly lift back up again. So we're just easing into this, opening up from the back. Depending on your level of tightness today, you do not have to go all the way down, all the way back up with that forward stretch. I just want you to start to get some movement to open up from the hips to the low back and just getting that nice inhale through the nose, exhale as you lower back down. If you're really, really tight in the lower back, you might want to soften the knees a little bit more just to give a little more help for those muscles that are probably right now not super stoked for the next 20 seconds as we do that nice forward fold and then right back up again. But it's only for another 15 seconds. If you can shake out your head on the way down, do that. If that aggravates anything, you do not have to do that, but just another couple counts to lower and lift before we extend on up. So just breathing deep, upper body nice and released on that drop down, and then lower body just waking it up. And then do just one more drop, one more lower, and one more lift, spacing your toes out, trying to get a really nice plant down on the ground. And then once you've gotten that last lift up, all I want you to do is roll the shoulders up and around. So you're just trying to feel a little more release as you drop on that shoulder. Let the breath go as well. And then in 3, we'll go the other way with it. In 2, and then here's your one, other way. So just roll up and then let it go down and around. And if one side feels a little bit funky, just go with it, try to release, try to give yourself some credit for making time to move your body parts and your muscles where you're not seated at a desk doing work or stressful things. And then let's go ahead from here, gently and carefully, we're going to take the right arm or the left arm, you get to pick, across your chest. Once you've selected an arm, figure out where it feels best to kind of pull across your body from, and then gently take your head in opposition. So I've got my left arm right now, I'm looking over my left shoulder. Breathe, take another inhale, exhale, let it go, and then gently bring the head back first, let that arm drop down. You can do a little wrist shake out and then other arm slowly and carefully bring it across the chest. This side might feel different than the other side, that's normal, so adjust your grip, maybe a little lower, a little higher, and then when you're comfortable, take your head, turn it over that shoulder, and then just breathe, feeling that nice, hopefully nice-ish pull away from the back of that shoulder. And that shin's going to slowly come back in the center and then shake out that arm as well. Just do a little shake. Other than that, there's only one standing exercise today, and it's right here. So we're going to take it and bring the knees and the hips into a drop position. So the knees are going to point out wide. I guess I'll show you from the side angle. So my butt and hips are going to go back and down on this one. You're going to lower, and then you're going to lift as you extend, open the chest up, push the hips out, and feel the stretch through the core. So it's a drop. Again, don't worry about going super low on this, and just extend. So now that you've got the general idea from side profile, from the center, you're trying to keep the shoulders down as you pull back, and then light tap of the ground, or again, if that's not your ability today, if you're like, my hips are not letting me do that, just a little drop and then a little open. So getting that movement. As far as your feet, just keep the feet opened in that turned out position, so you're not completely parallel with the toes. You've got that slight turn out, and I know this angle isn't great. I've just been kind of trying to get away. I love the sun, but for as far as you know, when you're filming it, it's like bright, everything's like, wow, you can't see anything. So I'm sorry, yet again, the angle is terrible, but we're doing what we can just for another 10 seconds on that drop and that expansion of the chest to open, and just breathing easy, doing something good for your body parts and your brain parts. Last 3, in 2, and last 1. Yay, those are over. Go ahead from here, bring it on down onto a seated position. I just gotta move ya a little bit. So we're gonna come on down to our butt, Once you are there onto your butt, hold the knees, both of the knees up and in towards your chest. So just give those knees a nice little hug. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, let the legs and the knees extend, stretch out, and then slowly start to walk your fingertips and your hands down towards those feet. And this is one of those, I know that sometimes we get frustrated on the range of motion where you can drop down. Be nice to yourself wherever you end up on this one. Let yourself chill, then try to take another breath in, exhale out, and then maybe another half of an inch or so you can drop down, and maybe not. No, we're just trying to let the release happen for more of the shoulders, more up and in from the neck, and let your low back do what it wants to do here. Might feel nice to do a little toe wiggle, wiggle the tiptoes. So we've got another 10 seconds just to enjoy this forward fold stretch as much as you can. In 5, and then come back on up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring it on up, and then from here, fingertips are going to point behind you. Let's switch up a little bit. So the fingertips are pointing away from where your butt is. Pop the chest open, let the head drop down, and then open up your neck, open up the chin, open up your lungs even. And again, easy pressure as far as those palms for this one. I just want you to get the nice chest expansion. And then exhale, rotate the shoulders forward just a little bit, and then reopen one more time. So it's just a nice big reach open, big inhale, big exhale, then let it go. And then from here, I'm going to have us go into a forward-facing move. So you're going to have, this is a little bit different for the hips and for the knees. As far as having your knees on this one, I personally like to have one knee way more extending in than the other one. If you prefer to have this top knee kind of set on top of your foot, you can have this bounce out on my foot. So left knee for this one here is going to be pointing forward. Your right knee is going to be back. From here, all that's going to happen is we drop the left hand down to the ground, and then gently and carefully try to extend, reach this arm over on the right, and then back. If this is too aggressive, you limit the range of motion to go from here to here. But we're just trying to get some movement as you're opening up from that side body. So that lift and lower. So Zoe, don't go very far on this one. I know it doesn't feel great, but if you can just try to start to work in that movement to lift up from the back part of that shoulder, find that reach, and that nice lift for another, there's just 10 more seconds on this one. So if it's absolutely horrible, just bear with me. In 5, it's almost over. In 4, 3, 2, and then there is your 1. Good. So from here, go ahead, slide that right heel over the left heel. So now we're going to breathe that. I can talk today. We bring ourselves into a seated crisscross position with the feet. Hands are going to interlace behind the head. So gently start to think of opening the shoulders a little bit wider if that's possible, and then exhale, drop the shoulders and elbows down. Head's going to go down. And I know this one's hard to do and watch at the same time, but if you can follow my words on it, the hands should be gently pushed into the back of your head, so think like cupping almost, and then let the head and the neck drop down. And then don't worry about looking up because you're not missing anything. Just drop the head and release and enjoy it. Big breath in, big breath out. Slowly in 3, 2, and 1. Round back on up. Open the elbows as wide as you can right here, right now. And then just shake out the arms and shake out the shoulders. And then we'll bring the now other knee in front. So your right knee hopefully will point forward. The left leg is going to extend back. Now our right palm comes down to the ground. And then this is where the left arm can do a little reach up. And then drop. Or again, if this range of motion is too aggressive, you do not do it. You find just this extension out from the side. Like you're just waving, a giant wave. And this is a safe place to wave because nobody's watching you. And you don't have to worry about it. If you're like, this looks stupid. Because it doesn't. I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't. You're opening and expanding, trying to get a little more of that stretch throughout that side part of the torso. And again, being easy on the gripped hand on the floor. Just 15 more seconds for that nice reach, that leg, that good extension out and away. Doing some good stuff for your muscles as you extend out. And then in 8 seconds, we don't have to do this one again. You just get a nice range of motion and movement from again, the back of that shoulder. Entering up and through for another 4, 3, 2, and there's your 1. Yay! All right, so from here, go ahead, bring yourself back on down to your tailbone. This time, the hands are going to either be gentle down to the sides to hold you balanced, or hands are going to lengthen out and reach. So advanced option, hands are reaching. Tighten up in the core and round your spine. Sorry, I did that the opposite order. Round your spine first, then tighten up in the core to lift up. Then from this position, we're going to go for a single leg kick right, single leg kick to the left. So the goal is to keep the spine not completely locked out. Like I don't want you to be like, I'm all the way upright, but I want you to have that softness, and then you're tightening in your center so you feel the abs kick on to help as we continue to work as far as lifting and lowering those legs with the knees staying super glued apart. So as you're doing it, I don't mind if you're doing a pointed toe or flex toe. I just want you to try your hardest to continue to maintain the tightness in your abs, and then keep those knees squeezed together. So the knees are squeezed, but here's still 20 seconds on these. Then if you want to scale up, and it's not hurting your hips or your low back, hover the feet so now there's no longer ground underneath you, and then continue. But if that poses to be too aggressive, you do not do it. You put the heels back on the ground, and then you can learn to fly later. Last 5 seconds though, you're doing great. Chin is up, then the core is on for all this thing in 3, in 2, and 1. Go ahead, make sure you're nice and even, and then from here, place the palms gently down to your sides. Now it's a little left and a little right. So what I'm doing here is now trying to work in my lower abdominals and obliques to drop the knees slightly side to side. This one I know sucks, and it feels not great for anybody that already does have hip flexor, hip issues. So if you need to, you don't do it. Modification, heels down, and it's just like a little windshield wiper side to side. But this does help to strengthen in from the pelvis and in from the areas in the hips that need it. But now run through kind of what's going on with your back. So maybe you're really slouched down. Lift up, tighten the abs, so you still have that angle going on where the core has to stay engaged to help us balance. And there's just 10 more seconds. So if you really don't like this one, I don't have to be too much more sorry for that much more amount of time, because it's over in 3, in 2, and there's your 1. Yay! So from here, open the knees up. You're into your butterfly stretch. I yet again have picked the wrong outfit to do this in today, but you guys know what butterfly stretches. Heels come together, toes try to push them in, and then slightly soften if you can in the elbows to pull them back in. You don't have to go for a huge elbow bend, but just gently start to drop the chest down. Maybe your water bottle is handy, and I can grab it pretty easily. Get some water after this. Don't strain yourself to get water for the stretch. And then after this, we get to lay down. Yay! So just embrace these next 15 seconds of your day where you're hopefully opening up and feeling a little bit more release in from the lower back as well as the inner thighs and the hips. And then we'll come on out of it. But that's for another 4, 3, 2, and here's your 1. So slowly come on out of it, and then if you also want to have a little bit of support for your head, prop a towel down. And then from here, go ahead, lay down onto your back. You can either bring the knees down with you as you rock like alcohol here to here, or you can just straight up go down onto your back. It's your call. But I'm doing a couple of these rocks. Ooh, this might be way too sunny right here. Find where you can do it. Yeah, I'll get some sunglasses on. Be one of those teachers. All right, and then lay down onto your back. Oh boy. And then bring the knees into tabletop. So the core is going to be engaged. Take a nice breath in. Tense up in your abs. Take a nice breath out. Now lengthen the legs up. Try to keep those legs super glued together. And then we're going to lower and lift the legs. And you guys hopefully, Zoe, don't mind me. I'm grabbing sunglasses. Keep doing it, because this is real simple, but I'm really running out of room. So, if you need to take a moment there, take a moment, and then just continue to lower and lift those legs. The core is going to want to cone and pop out, so the goal for you for these last 30 seconds is to try to find an angle that allows you to maintain a flat back and keeping the abs pulled in and tight versus that pop out that happens. So just try to do your best. I don't care if the lower and the lift is like 1 inch down, 1 inch up. That is something, again, just being mindful of what is happening with your body when you move it is half of this stuff. You got 5 more seconds in here, and then we're going to go for an upper abdominal lift. Legs are going to stretch straight up towards the ceiling. In 3, 2, and 1. So legs are up towards the sky. Heel your head, neck, and shoulders up. Try to think, okay, are my abs engaged and pulled in? If they're not, try to tense up in the core and do that little pull in at the belly button, and then up and down an inch. So these are just really small little lifts and little lowers. Toes point if you can, and then try to implement the breath as you do this exhale at the top, drop back down. We're just doing 8 more of these things, and then you don't have them anymore today. So just giving yourself that nice lift, that breath, pours in for 4 more, exhale up for 3 more, you got it, for 2 more, and there's your last one. That was the final one, yay. Drop the head, release the knees down into your chest, and then take your little side-to-side rock to feel good on the lower back. For this next one, we're going to slide the right leg over and out. I don't know, this might be getting real. All right, so the right leg is going to be over and out and down. The left knee for this one is going to be hovered on our tabletop. You can either do, again, the hands reaching here, or if you don't have any shoulder ailments, you can bring hands behind the head. But we're going to go for here. I'm going to actually do hands to the sides. Is a reach lift, so it's an upper abdominal lift, pull the belly button in, send that left leg out, bring that left knee back in, tabletop, and then drop the head, neck, and shoulders back down. So it's an upper lift. Once you've got that lift, stretch the leg, pull that leg back in, and then lower back on down. And then just keep doing it and having a good time doing it, because there's less than 30 seconds for this move. And what we're hoping to do is when that length happens, you're stretching out from not only that hip, but also from your from that oblique, that left oblique is like overload. And then just keep doing it. Those last 10 on knees. Just keep breathing. If you guessed a hold, you're correct. We're going to hold that left leg out in 3, 2, 1. So try to straighten the left leg out, hold it out. Now trace a little circle. So the belly button pulled in, head, neck, and shoulders lifting up's optional. You got to lower the head down, keep circling though. Pointing through the toe. We go the other direction in 3, and 2, and 1 other way. Just 15 seconds apiece. These ones aren't super long, but just trying to open up and feel that work in and around from that leg. And in 7 seconds, either done. In 6, I mean, we have to do the other side, but it's fine. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop that knee in towards your chest now. Let the head relax, and then take that knee for a little side-to-side action. Hopefully feeling more of a stretch in the glute, outer thigh, and pulling across the inner thigh. And just breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, because after this one, we're doing the other way. I just gotta make sure my time's on. All right, so in 3, 2, and 1, go ahead, lengthen out that left leg. Do a little shake out from the arms and shoulders, gentle shoulders. Reset the shoulders. Take a big breath in, fill up your belly, fill up your lungs, exhale out, tense up the core, and then raise that right leg into tabletop. And we get to do the same thing that we just did on the other side. So in 3, 2, 1, peel the head, neck, and shoulders up. Once the head, neck, and shoulders up, lengthen out that leg. Be controlled, pull it back in, use your core, and then lower the head back on down. So it's that nice upper abdominal lift, lengthening out from that now right leg. Knee comes back in, you stop it with that abdominal work, and tabletop, then the head drops. And you can mod all of these by keeping the head down. So if you're just having a rough day with the neck and the head, don't even worry about lifting it up. Keep the head down, still work from your tabletop position into that stretch, and you'll be getting the benefits still from that oblique and that leg and the hip. And just movement in general. All right, we've got 10 more seconds on it. But you're doing great. Just keep trying and just keep breathing. In 5, little circles lengthening out from that right leg. In 3, 2, 1. Head is either up or head is down. And then lengthen and trace that really nice circle the size of, I don't know, you want to do a sumo? You do a large orange. You're not a citrus fan. But they always choose apples. Go ahead the other way in 3, 2, and 1 other way. A mini watermelon. Something nice and refreshing. Some people don't like watermelon. I love watermelon. Pineapple? But no, pineapple's way too big. Don't do pineapple. There's only another 6 seconds anyway, so if you didn't pick your fruit, I'm sorry, you missed it. Do it later. 2 and 1. Drop the head. Good job. Pull the knee into your chest. Relax the neck and the head. And now take your knee side to side to feel some goodness on the hip and the outer thigh. And inner thigh. I mean, you get a lot on this. And then after this one, you're going to take both the legs and you're going to stretch them out straight onto the ground. So in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, slide the right leg out to meet the left leg. Take the hands, reach them out to the sides. Knuckles are going to be up, palms are going to be down. All I want you to do are 3 of these really lovely inhales. Puff the chest up, and then exhale. Let it go, sink the hips back on down. And then just do 2 more. Big reach up for the chest, big inhale. Nice exhale, let it go. 1 more time, big breath in. And then exhale out. And then start to send the arms down to your sides. Tighten up in your abs to bring the right heel down. Slide the left heel to meet the right heel. And then take your hands on your stomach for a second. I want you to find that nice big breath again, that big belly breath. Puff up the chest, puff up the belly. And then as you exhale, let the air go. Tense up in the core. Hold the belly button in. Push the palms down gently on the sides of your hips. And then raise your hips up, vertebra by vertebra. As far as your feet hip distance is great, just try not to be wider than that. So if you feel like maybe your feet are a little wide, bring them in just about hip distance. And then from here, all we're going to do is a slow pulse up an inch. Hold it, up a little higher, hold it, and then take it all the way back down, vertebra by vertebra to the mat. Then we repeat that whole thing again. So tense up the core. Belly buttons in, then vertebra by vertebra, lift it up to your bridge up. Take a second to hold it. Try to pull your heels back towards your fingertips. Take it up another inch. 1 more inch. And then all the way back on down. And then we just have 1 more of those. So think big breath. Let it go. Tense up the abs and then lift up with that tailbone. Then follow suit with every other little vertebra. Once you think you're at that highest point, hold it. Another inch higher because you know you can. 1 more inch higher, and all the way back on down. Yay! I know you're loving these. I can't see anything anymore. All right, we've got 1 more full range hold. So this one, you don't have to do the weird lifts up, but hold it. And then from here, we're going to take the hips a little to the left, a little to the right. So this is not a circle or a dip, it's a twist. So I don't know if you can even tell because it's a weird angle, but I'm trying to turn my hips toward from the left and then toward from to the right. So the knees are still pointing up towards the ceiling. I'm not moving my feet. I'm just trying to think my hips are twisting one way and then the other way. And this is just to hopefully get some mobility and laterally from the left and that right side before we take it into a parallel with those knees and hips. And it's just 10 more seconds of your day to do a little side left, side right. And then we'll come back to the middle. So if you need to take a break, please take a break. But we have 4, 3, Zoe, relax the shoulders, 2, and 1, bring it to the middle, and then from here, up an inch, down an inch. Don't worry about so much tightening from your glutes. So if you're like, I'm squeezing my butt a ton, that's great. I want you to, for these last 20, tense up in your abs. So think the core is on and the hands are not gripping. We're not worrying about pushing the palms down or anything. Let the arms chill and focus on your core being the reason your hips lift up a little, down a little. And then keep doing it. 10 more seconds. You've done a great job for all this. Just stay with it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and then there's your 1. Take it all the way down. Yay, good job. And then give those knees another little hug back. Do your side to side on that little rock left, little rock right. And then from here, you're going to lengthen the legs back up. This time, they're going to be in a not a full straight position and not a full tabletop. Find the middle zone where you've got a little bend of the knees. And then from here, peel your head, neck, and shoulders up. Look at your belly button. If your core is kind of coning out, tighten in from the core, and I want you to reach under your hand right and then reach under, your glute left. So now I'm going to stretch underneath where my tailbone and butt are to reach left and reach right. Where you should feel this is the side body, that external oblique. So as you're taking a second, like the easiest way I can think about it is we're gluing the knees together so the legs are super loose. So you're pulling in from the lower abs there. And then imagine that, like, oh crap, my water bottle's underneath for some reason behind my butt. And then you're like, I gotta grab it with the right hand. And then you don't, and you're like, I'm down again. And then you're like, I grab it with the left hand. And then you come back. So trying to find that movement, little side to side to get in. A little more from the waist for another 5, another 4, but we're not extending or straining the shoulder on it. 3, just a little bit is all you need. For 2, for 1, come back to the middle. Give the knees a hug, release the head down for a second, and then we're going to come on up for 100s, which I have not made us do in so long. So take a big breath in, Big breath out now. Those legs are at tabletop. The core is on. Head, neck, and shoulders lift up, and then we start the pumping of the arms. So thinking inhale through the nose, and then exhale, let it go. And then continue with that breath. I realize it is incredibly, I'm trying not to be as annoying, but like that breath is kind of, I'm not going to say obnoxious, because we need to do the breath work to help get the stuff to flow the right way, but just try to keep thinking of pulling that air in through the nose, and then exhale, do that through the mouth to get it out. As far as the pumping of the arms, we do want to stretch the fingertips out and try to feel the shoulders work and engage with the arms, but I don't want you to go overboard and being like, I have to hold a really big flex for all of it. This is just a great way to get blood circulating throughout your body, oxygen flowing, as well as continuing to tighten and work in your core, your powerhouse. Joseph Pilates would love this move. Oh wait, he's the one who like takes the credit for the move. So, yay, Joey P. But just keep breathing and pumping. Try to keep the chin up off the chest. I realize if your neck is like, you can put the head down. But we've only got 15 more seconds of it, and then you don't have to do it anymore. So just try to keep breathing and pumping to the best of your ability for these last 8, last 6. There's your 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the head down. Give those knees one last little hug here, and then take that side-to-side rock before we come on up onto our tailbone again. So roll left, roll right. Once you've done a couple of those, bring it to the middle, and then either rock like a ball to come up to your seated position, or if you're like down, good on it. Just pop yourself on up to a seated position. Both legs extend back out again, and then just start to walk the fingertips to those legs. Seeing if this time maybe you can go a little bit deeper on the stretch versus when we started, which hopefully now that you're warm, you're able to get a little bit more benefit from this. I know that stretching is nobody's favorite thing, but sometimes it's just one of those things we have to keep doing and practicing and trying, and accept that maybe you never get more flexible, but stuff starts to feel a little better, or maybe you do get more flexible and stuff feels better. So it's a win-win, because if you don't do it at all, then you're just going to be stiff and your body parts are going to go, unless you're Benjamin Buttoning it, which you can go back in time. But then like also, you get to have life and experiences. I've spent too much time with my head digging in this summer, so excuse whatever advice I'm giving, and then come on out of this stretch. And then from here, go ahead, bring it back into the middle, just how we started as far as the seated. Well, I guess this wasn't the very first thing, but we did this earlier, where the knees are going to be open, the feet are going to be crossed over. And then from here, I just want you to take the right hand, put the right hand on top of your head, a little bit closer to where your left ear is, and then gently pull the head down that side. And this is one, Zoe, especially for this one, I recommend taking the other hand, literally sit on it, so you're not forcing the shoulder to pop. Like the shoulder's going to pop up, we're kind of forcing that shoulder to stay down. And if it feels icky, don't hold it, come out of it, and then just try to come back and hang it again. Just for another, just 8 seconds. And then 7. We'll slowly lift on up in 6. But the next connected in that shoulder, so it should help open that up in 2. 1, and then lift up, and then from here, shake out that hand. Same thing, other side. So go ahead, bring that left hand close to the top of that right ear. Pop your other hand underneath your butt, and then just gently pull the head over. Gently, carefully, and don't ever force yourself to get into any of this stuff. It's easier said than done. So it's like we want to do our best, but sometimes you have to listen to your body. If that's where it is, you don't pass that part. Just take another breath in. Take another breath out. Maybe now that release will allow you to come a little more into it. If it's not happening, then don't force it, but just be present in that niceness of what your body can do here and now for these last 8, the last 6, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your middle. Ooh, bird. And then shake out both of those hands, both of those fingertips, and then from here we're going to reach the arms not up, but just wide to the side, big reach, and then I want you to rotate, twist the shoulders with your whole spine as you're rotating left. Hold it for a count so you can go a little deeper, and then bring it back into the middle. So you're controlling this, you're rotating through the spine, and then we do the other side. We're not just going to do one side, that's it. Just rotate, hold it for a count. Maybe you can go a little deeper once you're over on that side, and then bring it back into the center. Yay. And then hands come back on down. Last little thing I'll have you finish with will be an extension of the legs all the way out in front of you. So legs get to reach out all the way in front. Stretch the fingertips all the way open again. So we're going into one more of those reaches here. And then we're going to extend the arms in and then just last drop one down. And then, again, this is one that I just want you to close your eyes, literally close the eyeballs, relax the jaw, relax the head, let the head come down, nod the chin to chest. Take a big inhale here as you exhale, lift the head back up. And then we've got one more of those. So just letting the head release down, drop the head down, letting the hands fall wherever they are, and then that next release, lift the head up, yay, and then sit on up, roll the shoulders down, and around for 2, for 1, and then other way, last 3, last 2, and 1, and then after that, you did it. Good job.